Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, a little boxing, right? Still pissed off my team's losing the NBA, but whatever. Little boxing news, right? You know, word has it, you know, the ESPN, right? Or ESPN, Ring Magazine, one of them, it's the same thing basically to me. It's come out with the pound for pound list, right? And what have I told you guys on several occasions? Kind of ignore their list. You know, don't complain about their list. Ignore their list and make your own. In this video, I ain't gonna edit this one, but I will put in information, you know, my pound for pound list. Do my list and explain to you why. You know, if it's Ring Magazine and ESPN and stuff like that, remember, right, especially Ring Magazine, you know, they haven't apologized for what they've done, you know, with the racist emails going back and forth calling Al Heyman, you know, the N-word. Right? It's a lot of affiliation going on there, you know. Doesn't matter if the pound for pound list is Ring Magazine or if it's ESPN to me, you know, but they didn't have to apologize, but Devin Haney did when he said he ain't losing no white boy. And I explained to you in the video why he means that. Because a white fighter, right, in or around his division won't have to fight him, right, if he's good. Look, Lomachenko doesn't have to fight him. Right? So that's what he's probably meant, you know, because it's not going to be that many of them anyway. And another thing is, you know, it's the American white dude is only one champion in the whole America. But that's not it, right? You know, the pound for pound list is subjective and we know it. But man, it's way too many omissions. If y'all check the list out, I ain't putting it up there. Go check the list out. ESPN, Ring Magazine, doesn't matter, right? But you won't see Jamel, you won't see Jamal, either one of the Charlos. You won't see Devin Haney. You won't see Rigondeaux. You won't see Andrade. All of those are members of my Negro League fighters, right? These are great fighters, man. And we all know they're great. And everybody's avoiding them, right? Blatantly now. And all the ones that avoided them or are avoiding them right now are in the pound for pound list. Listen, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, who's number ones on everyone's list, I don't even care if it's the first take. And Stephen A. Smith talking about Canelo's number one pound for pound, acting like he's ignorant. Like he don't know what Canelo's doing and what their boxing is doing for Canelo. You know, let's just stop at doping right there. On my list, if you're doped twice, you ain't even on there, right? So, you know, that's a spoiler alert for my list. If you're doped twice, you ain't making it. Because dope once can be a something, you know, an accident. Not twice, right? That means you're doing it, right? Just that alone. You know, and a lot of fighters won't have fighters in their divisions that they just won't fight, and everyone's helping them to do so. So with saying Canelo is blasphemous. I think I need to see someone on mainstream TV somewhere saying what we're saying. You don't have to go to the internet to find out the things that Canelo won't do. You know, he was at 154. He could have been undisputed there, but I ain't beating up two Charlos and an Andrade, so I'm leaving. Goes up to 168. I ain't going to be undisputed there. I ain't beating up one Charlo and an Andrade, so I'm leaving there. Right? Oh, I'm going to 168. Benavidez gone, yo. Is Benavidez gone? Oh, cool. Okay, I can fight Yildirim and Callum Smith. Let's give him Callum Smith. And Callum Smith had a 4-week training camp, from what I'm hearing. Right? Fight Callum Smith. We're going to give him that one. But then after that, I can Billy Joe Saunders, who was dope too, so he's a comrade. And acting the fool in the internet, been banned. Well, I don't even know if he's going to make it to my fight. I can fight him, then I can fight Callum Smith, who's hurt, and I'm going to make Callum Smith not fight for a year. Right? He ain't going to fight in between. Now we want him to go 168. Now all of a sudden, the media is starting to talk about Undisputed. They didn't talk about it when Canelo was one fight from Undisputed at 160 pounds. All he had to do was fight Andrade. No one talked about that. So I can't understand why all of a sudden you can talk about Undisputed so much and you didn't then. Sounds like the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder situation. Wasn't Undisputed, wasn't so important when it was one fight away, right? Then we talking about Undisputed 3 fights away. But when it's one fight away, we ain't talking about it, right? When we got Anthony Joshua Fury, we talking about Undisputed now. Even though we have litigations and problems and Tyson Fury has to breach his contract to get to the fight. But we still want it all of a sudden. People don't want Undisputed unless it's somebody they like or something like that. So, you know, Canelo Alvarez number one on that pound for pound list is blasphemous to me. And Inouye is number 2, right? And really, Inui's number 2. And he could fight not Dimitri Andre, but he could fight Guillermo Rigondeaux, another Negro League fighter who I've been talking about the last couple of days anyway. You know, it would be nice that he fight him. His last fight with Nonito Donaire, who Guillermo Rigondeaux put distance between when Nonito Donaire was number 2, number 3 pound for pound. He fights an old Donaire, and there's not really distance. Gets both eye sockets broke, but definitely one, and something else broke. Right? There was no distance there. There was no separation. Right? So, you know, he should be in the pound for pound list, but not number 2. And then above Terrence Crawford. Whatever. Right? And so it's just things like that with that. So my point basically is, you know, when it comes to this blatant stuff, you have to take the significance away from people like that. You know their significance and what they say and what they say. People want to move to neighborhoods where they're at, right? And we call their neighborhoods good, right? The suburbs and all that, whatever. The best neighborhoods, the crime they commit, white collar crime, right? No, if you got a small business owner, your brother, when they come in there, racial profile them. Keep your hand on your pistol. Why are you so nervous? Because you're a white dude, you could be acting a fool. Right? The same way. It's right now, unfortunately. But what you're seeing is blatant. Right? You know, I don't even understand. I boycott a lot of fights because I know how they happen. I can't support anything that I know that's just, you know, is shenanigans going on. Right? I'm going to support people that are right, but if you're being evil, you can't really support that. And it's really, you know, trickles down to a lot of boxing because, you know, like these pound for pound lists, like people I've talked about yesterday, they won't mention people who won't fight them. You know, the Jaime Munguias and Ryan Garcias of the world who are mandatories who just won't fight the champion in Devin Haney and Demetrius Andrade. And the media won't say anything about that. I want to watch a brother, let a black mandatory not fight the champion. We'll see what happens. We got Charlo fight Benavidez a weight division higher. And he said, hold up a while until I finish at 160. He's avoiding him, right? It's a big thing. You know, we're not even in the same weight division. But we don't talk about the ones in the same weight division. It is getting ridiculous, right? And let me just tell you something. Like Alexander Usyk, I think he's number 3 or 4 in their pound for pound. I don't remember. About number 4 pound for pound. No, Alexander Usyk, to me, is boxing royalty. I've told everybody, I don't give a damn what he does in the heavyweight division. What that man did in the cruiserweight division, he was being my pound for pound because of that alone. Because it's totally different than everybody else that's boxing. He went to everybody's backyard to win, right? To become undisputed. He didn't never fight at home, ever, right? And before he went to that tournament, he beat Michael Hunter in America. And after he won that tournament, he beat Tony Bellew in England, right? So I didn't, you know, we went to Berlin, Marco Huck. He went to Latvia, Marius Brides, who's the baddest one there now, and to Russia, Marat Gasev, who's the one we think is going to take his power up to the heavyweight division. He beat all of them in their backyards. For that, he'll be in the pound list for a while, right? What he's doing in heavyweight right now, he's not bringing a punch of power up. He just finds out how to win. He's not going to be some some matches where you're going to see him dominate somebody and beat them all up and, you know, have a whole bunch of power. He's just going to find a way to win the fight. He's going to be winning ugly in the heavyweight division because those are going to be bigger people. So I'm not expecting him to do that well, but I will respect what he's done because he's surrounded by people who won't even leave the house, right? Who won't go nowhere. Canelo Alvarez is bringing people from England to Texas instead of fighting the Charlos who come from Texas, which would be huge. They're letting people in Texas anyway. I don't know why you want to go there anyway, by the way. I heard 38,000 people was in the Texas Ranger game with no mask on. That's what I heard. I didn't see it, but that better not be true. But the bottom line is if they opened up and you want to go over there with them people, they should, if they want to succeed and be their own country, you might well let them by now. But I don't want to get into that. That's some stuff for Patreon, which I'm about to do. Bottom line is this. Listen, pound for pound list are lying. Okay? They're lying if they're on TV. They're lying. They're not telling you the truth. I'm sorry you have to come somewhere way in the internet to find something like this because you think, hey, man, that's a conspiracy theorist and blah, blah. They're lying. There's a lot of good fighters that they're ignoring, and they're fighters of color, most of them. There's probably a couple of other ones, right? But bottom line is Canelo should not be a number 1. Everybody in boxing knows that. Inoue shouldn't be. He's like a Roman Gonzalez, one that they just want to put up there real quick. And, you know, it's no problem with Inoue. Have him at number 8. Let him go ahead and win a couple of more fights and then let him earn it. No, you ain't got to. We can just jump past people. And the people that are not in there, if I mention it, the Charlo brothers, both of them. We could be talking about Jamel because he got 3 titles. But the bottom line is, Jamal been handling his business too. You know, him quiet as kept. You know, Devin Haney got the whole lightweight division on lockdown, fighting other people. Rigondeaux's 41 years old, still can't get nobody. Like, Inoue should be hunting Rigondeaux down. Let me beat him. That's a scalp, right? He's not even looking for him. Doesn't have to. Demetrius Andrade is standing over there looking like Bigfoot, like, because he don't even really exist. Been a champion 7 years. Don't get me started. It's in all the videos. Go back to some videos and look at some stuff. Bottom line is, pound for pound lists are lying. Make your own, and it'll probably be more closer to what the reality is. That's my suggestion. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.